In this video, I'm going to explain how the NotaryGadget electronic journal works. So the first thing you're going to see is once you've activated it is on the signings page, you're going to see a new icon that appears. Right now it's a pen. We may end up changing the way that this icon looks, but there'll be some sort of an icon here to indicate that a journal entry has not been made for that particular signing, just like the other alerts here work as well. So if you click on it, just like any of the other alert icons work, it's going to bring up a list of your journal entries for that particular signing. So obviously in this case, I have not made one. So I'm going to start by clicking a new journal entry. Now, if one is not required for that particular signing, then you can just use the entry not required option and it will mark that alert as solved. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it. So you're going to click new journal entry and it's going to automatically use the signing location and the current date and time for the address. You can obviously change those. If you use a GPS option, you should only do this from a phone because that's the only way that you can get an accurate GPS location. And if the system finds that the location is not accurate enough, it's going to make you use an address anyway. But once you've got that filled in, you hit save. Now, the first thing you're going to see here is this is going to give you kind of a status of your status. So in this particular case, it's open along with the date, time, and address, just like we had here. So if I need to edit it, I can just click on it. By default, it's going to automatically add the signer that you had put in the signing when you first entered it in. Now, obviously, their ID has not been verified. So typically when you need to verify their ID, you'll go ahead and click on it. And it's going to give you a summary of the information. You're going to click edit. And then here you can type in the address, the person's address. You can choose from ID cards. You can create your own new favorites to choose from there. And then you can type all this in. And then once you have, you're just going to simply say, if I wanted to do, say I did state ID, let's say this is 111 Main Street. And ID number, I can type in, whatever that might be. And let's say that it expired in 2025. And then once I check I verify their ID, you're going to see this green verification message come up, and it's also going to show green here. Now, the next step, and it doesn't have to necessarily be done in this manner, but typically you're going to want to add your signers and or witnesses. Sometimes, obviously, the witness, you don't know who that's going to be until you show up at the signing. No big deal. You can certainly do that there or later on or whatever if you need to. But click on the Edit Add Docs or in here, and it's going to give you a list of documents. Now, when you first start off, it's going to give you a default master list of documents. Now, this is 100% customizable. So this is, like I said, that list that's going to automatically pop up when you first, when you're creating a new journal entry. And if you need to edit that list, you can click the Edit Master Doc List, and we got a little tutorial here that explains it. Or if you just want to add a document to just this particular entry, but you don't want it to always appear because you rarely ever run into it, you can use the Add Doc here. And in here, if I wanted to add in a, I'll call it random affidavit. If I wanted to do that, I have the option to add to this journal entry only, or I can add it to this journal entry and my master list. So there's a couple different ways you can add in your documents, but let's just say I only wanted to do it to this one. So now, as you'll see, it's going to automatically add it. It automatically selects it for you. And then what you're going to do anytime you select these, including that one I just added, is you're going to select it. You're going to pick what type of notarization is it. Is it an acknowledgement, a jurat? If you need more options, click the more, and then you can choose any one of these, or you can choose other. Either one is fine. And then you're going to select which signers or witnesses were on there. And again, you can, if you need to add a signer or witness that you haven't added yet, just click the Add Person. So let's say I wanted to add a new witness, and let's say it wasn't me, it was somebody else. So I could say Barbara Smith is her. And now another nice benefit too is on the mobile app, you can actually scan IDs and it will automatically pull all this information in there. So their address, their ID number, ID type, when it expires, all that sort of thing. So if I wanted to come in here, I could, put in their address. Let's say that it was a passport that she had, and that's her passport number. And let's say that it expired in 2028. I verified it, hit save. Now they're going to automatically appear in here. So if she was a witness on, say, the deed of trust, I could select her. So you just basically go through, select whatever documents that you notarized automatically, or not automatically, but go and choose which people were part of that, and then hit save. And then once you do, it'll give you a list of all your documents. Now, this is an important part. So the next step is closing out the journal entry. So it's completing it, if you will. And there's two different ways to do that. Is you can either have, if you're in a state that requires the user, or even if you just want the users to sign it, you need to do it from the mobile app. And that's because on the mobile app, there's a signature pad where the user can actually use their finger and sign it. So you'll have that signature, and it's going to save a copy of that and everything on file for you. But if you're in a state where it's not required, or you want to just enter in this journal without, or you want to close it out. Now, it's important to understand, once you close it out, you can't make any changes to it. So the idea being is that you do the journal entry, the person signs it, and then it's closed, because obviously they've signed it showing, these are in fact the documents that they were aware of, that they know they were a party to. So if I click on this, it's going to tell me, oh, mortgage one, there's a good instance where I added mortgage, but I forgot to actually select anybody that was part of it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, hit save. Now if I hit sign and close, it's going to give you that same message again here. So if I click signatures not required for either one of them, and I click finish journal entry, and then it's going to ask me if I want to record the number of notarial acts that I performed during that. So if I click yes, then it's going to automatically fill in the number of notarial acts, and if you have a default amount set up, it's going to automatically calculate that there. I hit save, and now it's done two things. So not only did I create my journal entry, but it also recorded the notarial acts that I'm going to use for my tax break later on. And if you've been using NotaryGadget for a long time, then you already know that there's the stamper icon is the notarial acts that you would typically enter in. And you can see this is the signing that we just had clicked on. And as you can see there, we have one journal act, and then we have 7 notarial acts that we just recorded as well. Hope this helps.